It's Brent, and today I'm going to be giving a review on this book right here, Amazing Tales. It's written by Martin Lloyd, and it is a beginning RPG for little kids. Um, Generally, I think it's meant for ages 4 and up, and I've had this for a little while. I've read through it, really impressed with what the folks over there did with this. It's really a good book. I believe it's 96 pages, but really has everything in here that you need to get started. It tells about what it is, how to set up, and really, uh, I'll just give you a quick rundown of it. The character creation is really, I like what they do with it. You Well, I'll just tell you what I did. I uh, I held off doing a review until this past week. My two grandchildren from Florida, they came in for a visit. My granddaughter's 5. My grandson just turned 3, and I wanted to see how he would be able to play the game as well. My 5-year-old granddaughter, she loved it. She did a great job. My 3-year-old grandson, he actually had a great time with it as well. We had to lead him with the questions a little more. He actually, you asked him the question, he would tell you the answer, what he wanted to do, and that's kind of how this game is set up. Uh, like for instance, my granddaughter wanted to play a mermaid that could fly and could walk on the dry ground when she was out of the water. So when it came to her skills, she needed she needed those skills. So we set her up with that, and I asked her what is your most favorite skill, and she said flying would be her best skill. So I assigned that to the D12. You use the D12, the D10, a D8, and a D6. So you're using four dice there. I assigned flying the D12, walking on Earth as a D10, and then she also had a spell to where she could cast it was a net spell where she could cast a net and capture somebody. I did that with the D8, and then where she could talk to sea creatures telepathically. That was her. There it was her D6. And when it came time to do one of these skills, all she would have to do at that point was roll whichever skill it was, and as long as it was above a 3, it was a success. So, it was, one of those things where the makers of this book really wanted them to succeed, and it's set up to be that way. My grandson, he wanted to be a pirate captain, and keep in mind he's 3, and my granddaughter helped out with his choices, and his pirate ship could fly. So that was part of his 4 skills that we assigned to him. And they do sell adventures for Amazing Tales, but this book also has it set up to where it will help you, like Tales from the Deep Dark Woods, Magical Kingdoms, Adventures on the Pirates, at Seas, and Among the Stars. So when they told me that's what they wanted to do, a mermaid and a pirate, I basically just kind of made up the story from there, and I said, well, our story was the king of the land was out on a little tour boat, and his crown fell off into the sea, and it's lost. And they want you two to go find his crown. Something very simple, and I was basically making it up as I went. And every time it got to a choice to where they needed to make a decision, I would ask my granddaughter or my grandson, whichever it came into play, and they would make the decision. If it was one that had one of their skills, they would roll the dice, and we played that. It kept the 5-year-old and the 3-year-old busy for, I believe, about 40-45 minutes. We played that game, and they were really intrigued with it. They were really just had a great time with it, and I really appreciate that from this company. And when I first discovered this book, we were talking about it. My Dungeons and Dragons group, we were talking about it. One of the other guys in my group is same age as I am. He also has grandchildren, and he has a 5-year-old granddaughter, same age as mine. And we got to talking about it, and some of us, the three of us in the group, started playing Dungeons and Dragons back in the mid '80s, '84 ish, and so we were playing during that whole satanic scare base where, you know, oh, it was of the devil, it was witchcraft. You weren't supposed to play Dungeons and Dragons, or uh, all kinds of bad things could happen to you. You had that going against it. You had oh, you were just a nerd, and you the social, you weren't in the in crowd. You were a geek or a nerd, and you were over there. You couldn't be part of the in crowd, but you played Dungeons and Dragons. You were one of those. And we got to talking about that, and how Dungeons and Dragons from that time period has completely flipped over to what it is today. Now you have celebrities and sports athletes, all kinds of people talking about, yeah, I played it. I mean, they're almost coming out of the closet per se. I was a Dungeons and Dragons player back in the day, and coming full circle and saying, I played it back when I was a kid, and now it's the cool thing to be playing. It's good, and now we have a product like this to where we're teaching 4 and 5 year olds what a role-playing game is. And it does teach them, it expands their imagination, it expands some problem solving, it does good with social work. And I really appreciate what Martin Lloyd has done. You can buy this book on Amazon. You can also get the PDF version on DriveThruRPG. They also have a website. It is amazing-tales.net. So go check them out. I highly recommend this. 5 stars out of 5. So yeah, go check them out. Thanks for watching.